12 years after the defeat of Babidi, Goku was behind his house, training with Goten. This saga only happens 12 years later in this timeline instead of 10 years later, since the World Martial Arts Tournament continued to happen every 3 years in this timeline. The closest tournament that would have happened after age 784 would be in age 786. This tournament would be the 33rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Anyway, while Goku was training with Goten, Yamcha and Bulma would arrive to talk with Goku. It's likely Yamcha would have heard the rumor about Goku joining the tournament, so he decides to join as well, for old time's sake. Trunks then arrives, and shortly afterwards Pan arrives as well. She has been training with Goku, though she has just gotten back from flying around the world. Anyway, Trunks asks Goten if he was joining, which he reveals that Goku is making him. Yamcha likely then makes Trunks join as well, but regardless, they then discuss telling the other heroes. Since Krillin, Chi-Chi, Tien, and Chiaotzu all have their own martial arts schools, they are told about how they are participating in the tournament as well. Of course, they tell Roshi about their participation too, so he joins as well. Piccolo, Gohan, and Videl might join too since they continued to play and had started their own martial arts school in this timeline as well. The next day, the tournament would begin as per usual, but since 18 is the champion in this timeline, Hercule isn't in this tournament. Also, since Boo was never released, Oob wouldn't be around either. Regardless, not counting 18, the finalists of the tournament would be as follows: Goku, Gohan, Goten, Chi-Chi, Pan, Videl, Yamcha, Trunks, Bulma, Krillin, Marin, Tien, Chiaotzu, Piccolo, Roshi, and Nock. I only added Bulma and Marin into this, since in a timeline where their fathers started their own martial arts school, they might have begun to train. Also, since Marin, Bulma, and Pan would be close friends, they might have all inspired each other to train together. I only kept Nock in the list if there was an even 16 fighters in the finals, when not counting 18. I only increased the size of the tournament to 16 fighters just to make it more interesting. Lastly, I didn't count 18 in the list, since I'm assuming this tournament would be like the actual 28th World Martial Arts Tournament, where Hercule didn't fight through the rounds would have had to face whoever the last fighter to remain was. Though, since none of them really have a desire to be champion except for 18, there still might be a similar agreement in place where they'll throw the final match so 18 wins again. I randomly generated the fights for the first round, and they ended up as follows. Match 1 is Pan vs Roshi, Match 2 is Goku vs Chi-Chi, Match 3 is Marin vs Krillin, Match 4 is Piccolo vs Goten, Match 5 is Trunks vs Bulma, Match 6 is Gohan vs Videl, Match 7 is Chiaotzu vs Tien, and Match 8 is Nock vs Yamcha. Before the tournament begins, the heroes will likely limit themselves to not transforming, so that some of the others can have a better chance to win. Anyway, Pan and Roshi would then enter the ring together. Even though Pan would have trained with Goku, her parents, and Piccolo in this timeline, she likely couldn't beat Roshi. It doesn't mean it wouldn't be a good fight, though, since Roshi would likely suppress himself somewhat for the fight. This way, he could try to use this fight to teach her a lesson like how he did to Goku and Krillin during the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Throughout their fight, Roshi would grow more impressed with her power, but he would end it by knocking her out of the ring. However, he might offer to train her to get better control of her power after the tournament is over. Next is the second match between Goku and Chi-Chi, so they would both enter the ring. With Chi-Chi having continued to train in this timeline, she would stand a better chance against Goku than she did in their fight during the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Though, unfortunately for her, Goku has an advantage in power because of Saiyan biology. It would be a long fight though, Goku would have suppressed himself as well. Eventually, however, it would end up with Goku managing to get the win over Chi-Chi. As for match 3, which is between Marin and Krillin, he would likely take it easy on her since it's his daughter he's fighting. It doesn't mean Krillin would throw the match, though. He'd still eventually knock her out of the ring. He just takes it easy on her so that they can have a good fight. Mainly, he would be wanting to test her strength to see how her training was coming along so far. Regardless, after he's seen how far she had come along, he would then knock her out of the ring. Next is match 4 between Piccolo and Goten, so I don't see Piccolo being the one to try and make it a long and drawn out fight. He might briefly spar with Goten, but he would easily be able to knock him out of the ring. Then as for match 5, which is between Trunks and Bulma, I could see it being like match 3. Trunks would likely want to test his little sister's strength, since he likely helped train her, but he'd go easy on her at first, though he would still be the one to knock her out of the ring. Since match 6 is between Gohan and Videl, it could end up being the match they wanted to have against each other back at the start of the Buu saga, but never got the chance to. Though, this would end up like the match between Goku and Chi-Chi. Gohan likely would have suppressed himself so that he and Videl could have a good fight, though, at the end of it, Gohan would come out on top, so he would eliminate her from the tournament by knocking her out of the ring. Since the 7th match is between Chiaotzu and Tien, it would be a friendly match, with how strong Shotsu is in comparison to Tien, he wouldn't stand a chance against Tien. He would give it his all, though, but he would eventually be knocked out of the ring. This brings us to the 8th and final match of the first round, which is between Nock and Yamcha. Though there isn't a reason to go into detail with this fight, since Nock wouldn't stand a chance and would be knocked out of the ring easily. So, the matches in round 2 are as follows. Match 9 is Roshi vs Goku, Match 10 is Krillin vs Piccolo, Match 11 is Trunks vs Gohan, and Match 12 is Tien vs Yamcha. The first match of the second round, which is Match 9 altogether, is between Roshi and Goku. It would be reminiscent of their fight in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, with neither of them being able to transform in this fight, and with Roshi being much stronger in this timeline, it would end up being a close fight. They would be able to go blow for blow with each other like they did in their first fight. However, instead of it ending with a victory for Roshi, I think Goku would win this fight. Next, match 10 would be between Krillin and Piccolo. Though like Piccolo's fight against Goten, he wouldn't drag this fight out either. So, while Krillin would put up a good fight, he would be knocked out of the ring too. And as for match 11, it is between Trunks and Gohan. Unlike the last fight, Gohan might drag this one out for longer just so he can test Trunks' power. Seeing Trunks all grown up might remind him of future Trunks from long ago, so this match could be resemblant of when future Gohan and future Trunks used to train together. Lastly, in match 12, it would be a friendly match between Tien and Yamcha. Though unlike Tien's match with Shotsu, this would be a closer fight since they are closer in power. However, it's likely that Tien would still have the advantage of power against Yamcha. So, while the fight would go on longer than Tien and Shotsu's fight, Yamcha would be eliminated. This makes the matches of round 3 as follows. Match 13 is Goku vs Piccolo, and match 14 is Gohan vs Tien. Like how Goku's last match is reminiscent of the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, match 13 would be reminiscent of the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament since it is between Goku and Piccolo. This would be another long and drawn out fight, though it is hard to say who the winner would be. Piccolo was able to match the power of Super Saiyan before, but Goku has also grown exponentially stronger in his base form. So, since Goku is still the main protagonist of this story, I decided for him to get the win in this fight. This means after a long and drawn out fight, Piccolo is eliminated from the tournament. The last match in this round is match 14, and it is between Gohan and Tien. Again, Gohan might suppress himself in this fight, so that it could be like a sparring match with Tien, though he would still eventually eliminate Tien from the tournament as well. This makes it so that the only match of round 4 is as follows. Match 15 is Goku vs Gohan. Of course, this is a match that would end up going on for a while as well, though I think Goku would be the one to win in it. Even though Gohan got back into fighting after the superhero movie, Goku never stopped fighting, so he might be slightly ahead of Gohan in terms of power. I think their fight would end with a beam struggle with them both using a Kamehameha, but Goku's would knock Gohan out of the ring. This means that the championship match is 18 versus Goku, though, as Goku promised he would, he purposely throws this match so that 18 can be the winner. Now that 18 is crowned the winner once more, the tournament is over. Afterwards, the heroes might all go their separate ways. However, Pan might go with Roshi so that she can take him up on his offer to get stronger. So, instead of this saga ending with Goku and Oob flying off together, it ends with Roshi and Pan flying off towards the lookout together.